How you doing, everyone? So this video is going to be on the exterior of your vehicle and things that I would be concerned about, things I'd be paying more attention to, and things that I would expect to be done by a detailer. And maybe you can use these as your guide when you're trying to find a detailer and that. So one of the big things with the exterior, obviously, is with your black plastics and stuff. We all know what happens when you get wax on them and stuff like that. And even when you're polishing, so the compound and the polish, your waxes, that stuff can get on that black plastic. That stuff's textured most of the time, and it gets stuck in there, and it discolors it and turns it white, and that's the end of it. There's usually no going back at that point. So that kind of stuff you want to pay attention to, and you need to know if you're doing any kind of polishing, especially, either that area needs to be avoided or it needs to be taped off. So you're always going to want to talk to your detailer and find out, are you going to be, if you're going to be polishing and, up against that air intake, are you going to be, taping that off? This thing's got the lower front spoiler that kind of hangs out. So polishing in between that light and that spoiler piece, you can get stuff up against, get it all gunked up with polishing that, and then you'll have to, then you're stuck with it. And then the other thing too is like around the Hemi logo or any logos and vinyls, you can get stuff built up along that edge of that vinyl. Since this one doesn't have, this is, it's done after the car's been clear coated. So it's sitting on top of the clear coat. So it can get stuff built up against it, and you're going to want to, you don't want that kind of stuff on there. And that's, that kind of stuff would show, especially like around the logo, would get all built up and gunked up in that. And I hate to see that kind of stuff. And then like on this car, this track was really bad. Right in that seam, there's just a ton of crud. I don't know why, but that kind of stuff. And I've seen it on other cars too. So that would be something that, that you'd want to see cleaned out, kept clean, and that. So that'd be something I would be looking out for. And just in general, in between all the panels and stuff, all those creases and that'd be something else I'd be looking at too. And then actually go into the trunk. I'll show you, because I've seen this before, and I've seen this get completely skipped by other detailers. All in there, just all along that whole area, where the hinges are in that. Get that all, that should be all cleaned out. There's no reason why that should be all gummed up and gunked up and looking nasty. And then obviously the underside of the trunk lid, get that done. And then too, like the spoiler right underneath here, I've seen that get skipped too. So that's one thing. That's definitely that would be a big thing for me. And then on the obviously the door jambs, to me, I'll do them even if I'm doing an exterior detail. I usually do them on interiors, because to me it's the first thing you see when you open up the door. Is the first thing you see is your door jambs. I'll do them on the exterior details too, especially depending on what I'm doing. If I took out the foam cannon and I suds the whole thing up, all that stuff's going to run down into the door jamb. So I'm always going to clean that out afterwards too. And especially if I'm using the pressure washer, it's going to get all wet in there. So I'll clean that out when I do an exterior detail. So that's pretty much it as far as what I'd be watching out for. Maybe your engine, the engine, not the bay itself, not inside the engine, but just around, just popping the hood. And this, again, when you're getting, especially with polishing and that, you'll get polish, might get down in there and that. So making sure that kind of stuff is cleaned out. So that's pretty much it for the exterior detail stuff, things that I'd be watching out for. Oh, actually, one more. The wheels. That's definitely something that and this always depends too. With me, it's two different things. I do either just the face of the wheels, or I do the barrel too. So that's something you'll want to talk to your detailer about, find out which is included, which one isn't. If he's going to do the barrels, if not. And two, depending on the wheels, this is a more open wheel pattern, so you can see inside that barrel. So keeping it looking nice and clean, makes the whole presentation, makes the car, it stands out. You don't notice it. You probably might not notice it, offhand, just by taking a quick look at the car. You might not notice that, but your brain sees it. and you'll notice the difference, and you'll come back and if you had it done, and it'll be like, oh wow, there's something with this, and you'll see that kind of stuff. It's all the little things. You may not actually see it, but your brain sees it and processes it, and that's where all these little things come in, and they make a huge difference at the end of the day. So that's the exterior part. So I hope you guys learned something from both these videos. If you didn't check out the interior one, definitely check it out. And as always, I'm Dan Zajac. I'm the owner of Precision Pro Auto Detailing, and I look forward to helping you make your life a little bit easier through detailing. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate it again, and I see you guys on the next one.